My name's Bonita Leonard. I just like being called Bonita. I'm enrolled in Warm Springs, but I'm Wasco, Klamath, Umatilla, and I live here in Culver, Oregon. It's a small town, mostly country, fields, farmers.
Home. We're in the front lawn and got a nice breeze going, but yeah, this is home, safe and, comfortable. My name's Diami, Big Eagle Ellis. I'm a Big Valley band Pomo from Clear Lake, California.
This is my son, Brave Bear. He is 1 day to 4 months old. He loves to laugh. He likes when you do funny faces to him. He wakes up with a smile all the time. He's a little fighter.
I remember when we got the call, I was washing the van at the time and everything. I was outside and Bonita came out and told me the news, and I remember I dropped the rag.
We got a phone call that a person that we have allowed in our homes that is a close family member tested positive for corona. I was like, no. We've been keeping ourselves safe because we never went out unless we needed to. We bought our food in bulks. We sprayed everything down all the time. We washed our hands all the time. We've only let minimal people in the house. And I didn't think they would have it. It wasn't until the next day after that, 2 days later, that our test came back and they're like, you guys are negative. And then our baby, he was really sleepy. So I took his temperature and it was 101. So I called the emergency room and they're like, well, it could be a lot of things, so just bring him down.
Once we got to the hospital thing, they wouldn't let me in and everything. They only let one of us. They were only letting one of the parents in.
Nobody could go in there, with me. Baby was sick, and I felt powerless.
And, this is my child too, that the emotional strain that the hospital and all that put on us too, and, having to sit in the parking lot. I remember I called my mom and I was just crying. I couldn't even tell her I was just, literally it was just minutes of just crying because I couldn't even express everything I was feeling or even get a word out.
And then I hear that the parents don't get to stay with the baby, that the baby has to be in a separate room. And then I started trying to calm myself down, but at the same time I'm freaking out because I'm oh my God, I've never been away from him. They're gonna take him. What are they really doing to him? How come a parent can't be in there? And I just had all these questions in my mind.
Is my son gonna be okay? Is my wife gonna be okay? What if something happens to me? When they released you guys, it was 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. And everything. He still had a fever, continued into the next day. Then they called later on around a little after lunchtime, around maybe 1 o'clock, and that's when they said, well, you guys are all positive.
I'm still crying because I'm I don't know what's gonna happen. I was scared to sleep because I didn't know if something could change.
Baby seemed to be all right after the fever.
I was thinking, it's gonna be okay. Maybe we are those ones that it doesn't affect that bad.
And then the symptoms came and it just shot through the house. Bonita got it. Her mom was coughing.
My lungs started hurting, And then every single day I felt it's getting worse, it wasn't getting better. I felt so close to death. I felt so close to death and I was powerless about it. The nurses kept saying because they call every day and they're like, man, if it gets too bad, you need to go to the hospital or whatever. I'm I don't want to go. If I die, that's not how I want to die. I want to be around my family. I want to be able to tell them I love them. And so, I just was like, no, if this thing's gonna take me, it's gonna take me fighting, because I have people that depend on me. One of my friends, she prayed for me and she started singing, and then all of a sudden, I wanted to start singing with her. That wasn't me fighting. I just kept singing, and over time, I started getting better. I started feeling hope, a little bit of hope.
I love you.
Now, after everything, I just kind of take everything as a blessing. Every moment, I kind of just take in, like this is another day I get with my son, another day I get with my wife.
I just am finding courage to put on my mask, put on gloves if I need to, and still going out there. And at the same time, still having care in my heart, that even though maybe some people don't think it's real or whatever, and at one point I didn't think it's real, it's not just my life that would be affected, it's other people's lives.
When my son wakes up, and he sees me and he just instantly cracks into the biggest smile, like just little things like that.
I love you, baby. Mwah.